Good morning, everyone, and Happy New Year. Welcome to the first MPN 101 community call of 2018. My name is Chinmay Bhavani Shankar. I'm part of the US Partner Experience team, and my job is to make sure that you understand what the Microsoft Partner Program gives you so that you can make the most of the benefits that you get with your membership. The objective of today's session is to understand the Microsoft Partner Program and make the resources that are available work for you and help you achieve your goals. And I'd like to start off with a very high level on the value of partnering with Microsoft. What do you get? And some of you are already Action Pack subscribers, or your companies already have a gold competency. But with a partnership, you get the chance to differentiate your business and optimize your operations, modernize your sales and marketing, and deliver customer lifetime value. All of the content today is going to be divvied up in those 4 pillars. And we do that by giving you the expertise and providing you the opportunities and tools so that you can engage with the community. And before we dive into this, I wanted you to take a step back and think about your business. And whether you're in a big company or in a small partner organization where you're running the show, evaluate where you stand. What is your value proposition? What do you do differently than your peers? And what does your future look like in your vision? What is your business roadmap? And then analyze your current strength. What are your strengths and weaknesses? And the reason I'm asking you to take a minute to kind of think about this is so that you can then look at the content that I'm going to talk about with those lens. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to you and throwing a bunch of information at you, and you wouldn't know what to catch. So whether you're in a marketing role or a sales role or a technical role, get that lens kind of set up so that what information that I'm about to give you, you can pick and choose what you'd want to take away with you. The first pillar, differentiating your business. By partnering with Microsoft, by choosing a membership option, you're already differentiating your business because there's a huge number of partners out there, hundreds of thousands, if you will, and a small number of them are actually registered partners with Microsoft. A smaller number still are Action Pack subscribers, and a very small portion of these partners are competency partners, let alone gold partners. So you can tell with these membership hierarchies where you stand within the partner ecosystem. There are 3 membership options within the Microsoft Partner Network. Network membership is free. All you have to do is enroll and sign up. Then there is Action Pack subscription, which is an annual paid subscription. So for less than $500 a year, you get access to licenses that you can use internally and access to support. And then the third earned designation is competencies. Now, for competencies, there are a few requirements that you'll have to complete in order to earn a competency. And within that, there are 2 levels, silver and gold. There are 17 different competencies at the moment, and I say at the moment because the structure keeps changing year over year, month over month, mostly because our business keeps changing so quickly. Microsoft would like their partners to stay up to date with the changing scenarios, and which is why I say that if there's one thing that's constant with the Microsoft Partner Program is that it is going to change. So among the 17 competencies, there are 5 cloud performance competencies. Around Office 365, there is cloud productivity and small and mid-market cloud solutions competency. Around Microsoft Azure, there is cloud platform competency. Around Microsoft Dynamics CRM, there's the cloud customer relationship management competency. And around enterprise mobility and security, there is the enterprise mobility management competency. Now, some of you in the audience have an Action Pack subscription. Some of you are network members who might be looking at either an Action Pack subscription or a competency. And some of you already might have a silver or gold competency. Make sure that you think about a cloud competency. And if you already have a gold cloud competency, how can you spread your wings and look at other cloud businesses to start a practice in. There are 4 steps to attaining a cloud competency, and this applies to almost every other competency as well. The first step is you'll have to demonstrate sales performance. You'll have to pass some technical exams that are specific to each of these competencies. Provide customer evidence, and what this means is that you'll have to provide customer referrals, contact information of your customers that you've already done business with who can vouch for you. And it's 3 customer referrals for silver competency and 5 for gold. And then you'll have to pay a fee. And the benefits for getting a competency or a cloud competency in particular is that you get unlimited cloud support. What that means is that if you get an Office 365 competency, you get unlimited support for Office 365. And you also get additional software licenses and Azure credits for development. You also get eligibility for partner incentives. The incentive model has been changing year over year as well. And starting this fiscal year, getting a competency makes you eligible for a lot more incentives than it used to be before. So the opportunity to be eligible and to apply for incentives is on you now. If you get a competency, you'll be eligible. You'll still have to complete a few other steps in order to start getting paid on the incentives. And then there's guaranteed account coverage at the gold level. What this means is that with a gold cloud competency, you get someone from Microsoft, a tele agent, a support agent that could help you work through your partner journey and membership. If you're interested in getting a cloud competency, then the Cloud Enablement Desk is the right resource for you. We have put aside a group of program specialists that can help you for up to 6 months if you have the intent to get a cloud competency. And the only requirement is that you be an active member in the Microsoft Partner Network with an MPN ID, and you be willing to invest the time to obtain that competency, because ultimately you'll have to invest that time and resources, but we'll guide you to make sure that you get there so that you don't get lost in the logistics of the how to get a competency. And this is absolutely free. If you are even remotely interested, just nominate yourself so that you can have that first conversation and see if this is the right path for you. And I'd like to pause here really quickly to see if there are any questions. And at any point in the call, folks, if you have trouble with the audio, please do refresh your browser. Now, one of the first steps to get a cloud competency was demonstrating sales performance. And in order to do that, you'll have to get recognition for the cloud consumption that you're driving. And there are 2 ways to do that. Digital partner of record, that you might have heard about, is a system that associates you as a servicing partner to a Microsoft Cloud subscription. So how does Microsoft know that you are selling cloud to your customers and how much? So this is one way for us to associate you as a servicing partner to a cloud subscription. Now, again, words matter here because it's a cloud subscription and not a customer. So keep that in mind. If you have a customer with multiple cloud subscriptions, you'll have to associate for each cloud subscription so that we know that you have X number of cloud subscriptions and X amount of cloud consumption that you're driving. So that is what digital partner of record is. And the onus is on you educating the customer to list you as the digital partner of record within their cloud subscription. Now, that was a system that was started to digitize the process. And of course, it's far from perfect. We're honing it and improving it every day. And multiple partners that work with a customer didn't quite get the credit that they needed, because in today's day and age, it's never one partner working with one customer. A customer has the option to work with multiple partners based on their expertise. That is where partner association came into play, where on Microsoft's side, we started looking at our internal sales system so that transacting partners, in addition to servicing partners, are also getting the credit for a customer subscription. And partners can also be granted delegated admin privileges by customers. So again, the onus is on customers here again, where multiple partners can get credit for working with a customer. Now, by getting recognition, by getting credit for the cloud consumption that you're driving, you can qualify for a silver or gold competency, and both these methods work. But if you want to qualify for incentives, you have to be the digital partner of record. The second step was completing some exams and certifications. Now you can find Microsoft certifications and online or in-person courses in order to prepare for that certification or exam, register for the exam, and explore free online training all in one place at the learning portal. And this, again, is a recent development. The learning portal kind of combines what used to be, and it still links you to this other source, but you don't have to go to multiple sources in order to get your training. So if you've heard of Partner University, if you've heard of learning paths, the learning portal kind of links you to all of these places in one page for you. And in addition to the countrywide and the worldwide training that happens, the hot sheet is a US specific calendar. So for all in-person and virtual US partner events, for the next 2 months, you can go to the hot sheet to look at the calendar and plan your time and plan whether there's an event happening in a city that you live in or that you're near, or if it's an online event that you are interested in, or if your employees might be interested in. The hot sheet is the one place for you to go to get that entire calendar. And we're working on making that more user-friendly, but at this point, it is a fabulous calendar that brings together all US partner events happening that might be relevant for you. When you take an exam or a certification, it is important that you associate yourself as a technical expert to your organization. So let's say you go to the hot sheet, you look at a training event or a boot camp, and you take that exam. Once you take and pass an exam, you are a Microsoft certified professional, you as an individual. So you have an MCP ID that's given to you. As an individual, you still have to associate with your organization with an MPN ID so that that organization has you as a technical certified expert. Now, what that does is it tells Microsoft what your technical capability is as a company. So if your business has 10 people that have taken an exam and they're certified, then we know that your technical capability is 10 folks and in these different areas. So it's a small step, but make sure you do that so that your technical capability is up front and center and you don't ever have to wonder. And this also happens when you move companies, that you'll have to reassociate with your new organization, or if you hire other people and they already have an exam or a certification, you don't lose credit for that. And all of these count towards a competency as well. So that was the first pillar of differentiating your business and how to get a competency and how to get technically certified. And by doing and by taking these certifications, passing these exams, and getting a competency, you're differentiating yourselves from others within the partner ecosystem. The second pillar, optimizing your operations. One of the benefits of being a paid member within the Microsoft Partner Program is that you get certain online software for internal use. For internal use only, you cannot use this for customer facing or a production environment. But for an action pack, you get enough licenses to support up to 10 employees. With a silver competency, you get enough licenses to support up to 25 employees. And with a gold competency, you get enough licenses to support up to 100 employees. Now, I didn't want to list out each and every product that you get licenses with. There is a license table that you can go on the IUR page and download it for yourself. But internal use rights is by far the most useful benefit of being a Microsoft partner, because the more you know, the better you can sell. So we've seen that partners that use their internal use rights actively, they tend to sell up to 3 times more, because they're always looking at new products, and their employees know how to use these products, and you can experiment within your company before you take it to the customers. And of course, you save money if you use that internally as well. Getting a competency makes you eligible for incentives and investments. Now, if you haven't heard of this already, I already mentioned incentives earlier. The difference between incentives and investments. Incentives are rewards for Microsoft sales or post-sales activities. So if you're driving usage of Office 365 or consumption of Azure, etc., you get a certain amount of incentives, a certain percentage, and you can be eligible for these programs based on what competency you have or what licensing program you have. Now, these programs change either year over year or ad hoc. So we can introduce a program in the second half of the year because we had some budget and we want to drive a behavior, or we could have a year-long program that's applicable to you. And the only way for you to keep up to date is to check the incentives page and see what you're eligible for. These programs keep coming in and out all the time. At the same time, make sure you don't depend on the incentives as your revenue, because they are just that. They're incentives. They're not going to be consistent. They're not going to be forever. So it's just an additional cherry on top for you to have to get some additional money to invest in expanding your business. So keep that in mind. And for investments, this is support for marketing events or specific customer engagements that can create and drive bigger opportunities. And so proof of concept with a customer, that kind of activities count for that. And you can apply to get these investments from Microsoft if you have this customer engagement planned. And very similar to incentives, investment programs can also be ad hoc or can be a year-long thing. Log in, see what you're eligible for. And in investments, you can only see what the programs that you are eligible for once you sign in. And incentives, you can work towards being eligible for an incentive. So for example, CSP incentives that are in the market today, if you get a certain competency, there are 8 eligible competencies. If you get one of those competencies by end of the year, and by end of the fiscal year, end of June, you will be eligible to get incentives for this entire half. So let's say you get a cloud competency that is eligible in February for Azure, for example, then you would be paid for all the sales that you've made January through June, because you applied for that incentive program and you were eligible because of the competency. So there are lots of T's and C's, but if you're aware and there's money on the table, do not leave it. And if you're eligible, then make sure you make use of it. I'd like to pause there to see if there are any questions at the moment. All right. So the next pillar was modernizing your sales and marketing and getting customer referrals. And that was kind of the third step, right? You'll have to get customer evidence, and the first couple deals that you're going to make has to be on your own, so you're already kind of halfway through to getting a competency. But with an action pack subscription, that is not quite a requirement. Now, marketing resources are something that not all partners have a lot of bandwidth to invest in. And so we have 2 resources that are available to you. There is Smart Partner Marketing, which takes the best practices of other successful cloud partners and figures out how that could be kind of scalable and applicable to you. And then there is Marketing Sure Step that gives you customized guidance for you, let's say as a company of 10 with one marketing resource, and your marketing goals are, for example, website improvement. So you can take a look at both of these resources and see what works for you. A lot of this is also reusable in the sense that they have campaign assets and materials that you can use, so you don't have to create something from scratch. And other resources is the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. I think you can go in to get information on how to use the LinkedIn Sales Navigator. There's the logo builder. So if you have a competency, you can get a logo specifically for your company that certifies that you have competency A, competency B, or a silver or a gold competency. Then there's also web content. Now, this is what I was talking about, assets with email campaigns, website banners, templates for newsletters, and you name it. There's a lot of assets that are already there, specific to product also. So you can take that and kind of switch it around to make it your own and send that out instead of creating something from scratch. And then there's referrals. Now, the referral system is a project in progress. And if some of you have heard of Partner Center, we're moving our infrastructure from one system to the other. And as we move to this Partner Center, which we hope that it will be that one place for you for all of your transactions, and not everyone is on Partner Center yet. And once you are, you'll be able to make use of this referral system where you will get customer leads from different parts of Microsoft based on how you built your profile within Partner Center and get these customer leads and be able to work on them. So visit Partner Marketing Center, and referrals are not completely baked yet and not available to everyone yet, but soon enough, it's coming up. And the last pillar was about delivering customer lifetime value. Now, if you haven't already heard about the Cloud Solution Provider Program, I encourage you to do a little more research on that and work with a provider so that you can own the end-to-end customer relationship. That is the whole goal of the Cloud Solution Provider Program. There are two models, the direct and the indirect service model. And for most partners, the indirect model applies. You work with a provider and build an infrastructure where you can own everything from support, from billing, but you work with the provider to give you that 24/7 support, to give you that billing infrastructure, but you still own the customer relationship. And you can find the list of indirect providers on the site as well. And then there's Fast Track. So Fast Track is essentially a program that helps you successfully and consistently roll out capabilities at your own pace and onboard new users. So for Office 365 or Enterprise Mobility and Security, we want to make sure that all customers have a consistent onboarding experience so that once you onboard them, and we want to make this as quick as possible for you as our partners, then you can add on your value-added services and get to that customization part. If there's a hiccup in the onboarding, then that kind of mars the whole experience, and that's the Microsoft experience that we would want to deliver. So Fast Track has those resources to help you onboard your customers to the cloud as soon and consistently as possible. So if you haven't already taken a look at it or heard of it, then please do. I'd like to pause here to address a couple questions. The slides will be made available, so if you missed any of the links, you will get the slides and the recording. Is there any way to learn what kind of customer referrals are being most asked for? Unfortunately, no, Sasha. if you look at the customer referrals, it's basically asking a customer to vouch for you. There's also a sample email of what the customer will be sent. So if you go to the partner membership center and/or on the partner portal, it'll have that information. Just send me a message on Yammer, and I can send you additional details on that as well. Marina Johnson, is there a discount for LinkedIn Sales Navigator for Action Pack subscribers? Not that I know of, Marina, unfortunately, but I can dig a little deeper and make sure that I give you a legitimate and certified answer. As far as I know, I don't think there is a discount for that. Any other questions, folks? All right. So for partner support options, and as you go through your partner journey, there's more than one time that you're going to be faced with a question either on the customer end or on your end. And the Microsoft Partner Program, again, as it keeps changing, it's far from perfect, and we're trying to make it as workable for you as possible. And in that same thread, we want to make sure that you have every avenue to get support. So there's the partner support community forums, which is it's an online community forum. And because of the fact that the partner program has been around for so long and with so many partners, chances are if you have a question, someone else has already asked it and an agent has already responded to it. So whenever you have a question, make sure you go do a quick search on the community forum to see if that question has already been asked. Then there's phone-based support. If you're an action pack or a competency partner, you have access to the MPN support team that will answer your questions, and they probably have the most influence on your profile and have access to changing anything in case something gets stuck. So make sure you pick up the phone and talk to them. And if you don't want to do that, there is also live chat. So on the partner portal at partner.microsoft.com, you can chat with the same support agents. And if you have a simple question or if you don't have the time to call and or wait, that would be your first and easiest way to get an answer, or at least make headway to an answer. In addition to that, there's also some technical services that you can make use of. Now, technical pre-sales and deployment services is basically Microsoft consulting. So technical consultants that can help you if you want to customize your solution for your partners. If you have questions about design and deployment, you get a certain number of advisory hours, and I'll tell you exactly how many with each of the membership levels. And with those hours, you can use them for technical pre-sales and deployment services. They also have one-on-one consultation. If you just want to increase your technical capability, they have webinars that are available. So based on what practice you want to build, there are journeys. So if you want to build an Azure practice, there are infrastructure as a service, you have webinars on that, you have one-on-one consultation on that, and you have technical chat capability. So use the technical pre-sales and deployment services you're already paying for it. This is in addition to the product support and the signature cloud support that we already talked about. Now, if all of these resources are not enough and you need a higher level of support, then you can pay for advanced support for partners or premier support for partners. These are two programs that you can pay to get additional, quicker support. And as I talked to you about, this is what the benefits kind of look like. With an action pack, you get 5 partner advisory hours. And again, that's based on your first cloud sale. And then you get 10 product support incidents. Now, each of these support incidents cost about $400 if you don't go through the program. So you're paying $500 for an action pack subscription. So do the math and see how much you're actually getting out of it. For a silver competency, for a cloud competency, you get 20 advisory hours and you get 15 product support incidents and unlimited signature cloud support in the cloud product that you have a competency in. So, and with the gold cloud competency, you get 50 partner advisory hours. Again, in your membership, you're kind of almost paying for some of this. So if you haven't used this already, give it a try. If it works, it works. If it doesn't, then at least you know you tried and you didn't leave this benefit on the table. And if you're an ISV, an independent software vendor, you have some options. The Microsoft Action Pack subscription is probably the best membership option for you to start off on. There's the application development competency. That would be a good start for you as well. And then there's a Cloud Ready Business Toolkit. So whether you're an ISV or not, this might be a good thing to check out where you can figure out how cloud ready are you. And there are a certain set of questions that helps determine that and helps you build that plan for you to be more cloud ready and get to that cloud competency. And you've already checked the box of engaging with the US partner team online. But if you want to engage with us in person, you can join us at Microsoft Inspire in Las Vegas. Every year it's in a different location. This year it's in Vegas from July 15th through 19th, where thousands of partners worldwide attend this conference to build partner-to-partner connections and to build their partner-to-Microsoft connections and get information on what the next year is going to look like. So if you haven't registered already, do so today because the prices are only going to keep going up. I talked to you about subscribing to the newsletter already, and that is one way to stay connected with us. You have participated in the MPN 101 calls, so kudos to you. You can also read some of our blog posts if you're just getting started, and engage with us on Yammer. You have quite a few technical and business communities on there where Microsoft Teams are managing these groups and these communities. So if you have a question, ask it there. Make yourself known, answer other partners' questions, and get into the spotlight because that's the only way Microsoft knows that you're engaged. Also, there's Twitter and Facebook. And if there's one thing that you're taking away from this initial conversation, it is the stay informed slide. Now, this might look like a lot, but everything that we talked about has a link in this one slide. We talked about how you can engage with us on Yammer, on Facebook. All of that is in the community section. Training, the learning portal, the link to the learning portal and the hot sheet and other enablement options, all of that in the partner training and enablement section. Profitability, there is the digital partner of record, the cloud adoption playbook, the sure step, the links to all of that, where to go. A lot of times I get partners telling me there's just too many things and too many links happening and I can't keep track of it. This one slide, either print it out or make this your desktop background and you don't have to look at anything else. And then partner support in the one place as well. So I hope this was useful to you, and here are some next steps. So you've already attended the new partner orientation, subscribe to the US Partner Weekly online newsletter, join the US Partner Yammer community if you haven't already, and if you've already joined, then engage in a group. Pick one group and post something, like someone else's posts, engage in that community because that is for you. And with the Microsoft Partner Membership, you get access to a huge community and make use of that. Determine the best membership path. So for the couple network members out there for you, determine whether an action pack makes sense or a competency. And if you already have a competency or an action pack, figure out if you're interested in a cloud competency and enroll in the Cloud Enablement Desk if you are interested in that. Now, these are some of the next steps for you. If you would like, there's also a follow-up call. So some within a month, there will be a follow-up call where I build on this information. So assuming that you within the month you can kind of tick off all these actions, we can go from there and talk about what licensing options are available to you, what are the details on attaining the competency if you'd want it, and what other next steps can you do to take your engagement to the next level. So with that, I'm done with the content. Thank you for joining the call. I'll now open it up to more questions. I know there are a couple that I haven't answered yet, but thank you so much, and I hope this was helpful. Marina, I have a 2-year subscription through GoDaddy. How do I switch the subscription under our Action Pack membership without losing our current investment? So an Action Pack subscription shouldn't quite interfere with that, as far as I know, but you cannot move that Office 365 to use the internal use licenses, unfortunately. So you might have to just wait out the 2-year subscription. Again, send me a message. We might have to talk to an agent just to be sure on what the best next step for you is. Chip, yes, I can definitely post the newsletter link. Give me a second. Sasha, you'll get the copy of the slide deck via email by end of day today. If not, you can also go to the MPN 101 group on Yammer to get the deck and a link to the recording. Andy, can one person take 2 required exams for silver partnership? So if there is a silver competency and it requires 2 people to take an exam, then you'll need 2 people. But if you take an exam and you take another exam to qualify for another competency, that counts. So one person can take 2 exams that qualifies for 2 different competencies, but if you're looking to satisfy just that requirement for one competency, you still need 2 people, so 2 MCPs that are taking that exam. Hope that clarifies things. What is the URL to enroll in Silver? Edward, you can go to partner.microsoft.com and here, I'll put the link and you just hit enroll once you have all the requirements. Andy, is there a formula for incentives? No, unfortunately, there isn't. You just have to keep a lookout for what programs are coming out and see if you're eligible and apply for those incentives as soon as possible so that you can get paid for either that half of the year or that full year. Edward, on that link in the top membership, how it works, program updates, incentives, there's an enroll and renew in that black bar. All right, folks, thank you so much. Again, there's a question that's popping up on your screen. Let me know if you were satisfied or not with the content. If you're not, I will definitely be following up with you. Thank you so much and have a wonderful start to the year. And I'm hoping that all of your resolutions stay on until the end of the year. Have a great one. Thanks, folks.